Welcome back. When I started out performing magic, I performed almost exclusively in a close-up setting, where people were right there watching the magic up close. And recently I've decided to start performing more in a stage environment, in a stand-up environment, and there are a few things that are immediately clear when you start transitioning to performing in that kind of place. And the first is that you can no longer just rely on having good material. You also have to be an entertaining person. You have to make your magic interesting for people to watch. And it's a crucial skill, not just in a stage environment and in a stand-up setting, but also in close-up. And so one of those people who does this exceptionally well is my good friend Francisco. Now, if you haven't heard of Francisco, he is based in Portugal. He actually runs a magic school there, along with performing full-time in a cabaret and also corporate environment. He's an absolutely fantastic magician. He works a lot with cards, he does stuff with ropes, he does stuff with everything. And one common theme with all of his magic is that it is extremely entertaining. He's able to take one short routine and build it into an 8-minute or 10-minute set, which is just filled with laughter. And so recently I got the chance to sit down with Francisco and we talked about this and a whole lot more. It was my longest interview yet. It'll be released in a few days' time. But this is a snippet from that interview which talks specifically about making your magic more entertaining. I think it's one of the most crucial skills you can have as a magician. So I won't waffle on any longer. Here is a snippet from my conversation with Francisco.
One of the main things I want to talk to you about, as I mentioned at the beginning, is creating falling magic, because you are one of those people who thinks a lot about how you construct an effect, both from an inner perspective, from a technical methods standpoint, and also from an outer reality. So how do you approach constructing falling magic?
Oh, that's a hard-hitting one. Right off the bat, I tried writing about structuring magic. I don't believe that structuring magic can have like a structure that you can follow, but I think you get used to doing things a certain way and they become an habit, therefore they become the creative decisions and process that you later follow because it works so well before. That would be the first thing I would say. The second one is I don't know how to talk about structuring magic unless I use examples to kick me off. So in my lecture, I talk a lot about moving from close-up to stage. It's, as we said, it's a different beast. The stuff you get away with, man, it's just ridiculous. It is, because you can move from having to do things, and as you know it, you're technically flawless. So in close-up, you have to be.
Yeah.
Right? You're very comfortable in close-up because you use your technique as a shield and simultaneously as a weapon. As you said, you need a presentation for the stage. I'm shit at structuring magic in close-up, but stage-wise, first of all, I go, what do I like? What is funny to me? Where can I show most of me? How can I make this? And the Spanish know this for a long time. The Spanish magicians, they don't say magic trick. They say game. They say un juego de magia. Because you bring the audience out of their game and you seduce them into yours. I'll provide an example. I watched Mac King perform a signed card coming out from a zipper.
Yeah.
So he gets a signed card out of the zipper and he takes it immediately and he places that on top of a face-down deck. And he goes, oh, you liked it, you want to see it again. He palms it again, invisibly, and he takes it out again, he puts it on top. Oh, for the front row! And he takes it out again, he puts it on top, he palms it again. Oh, to the back, oh, to the people in the back seat. And this is funny. Okay? This is so funny. This is also a flaw in because you're exposing the method after doing it.
Yeah.
Which makes no relevance at all, no consequence at all, because people will forget. But from a fooling standpoint, it's very poor, and that is objectively true. This is not an opinion, so it's... So I was like, yeah, okay. I was invited to do a theater musical cabaret show where I played a magician from the 90s who was smoking cigarettes. And so I developed the act, and the act was someone signs the card and the card ends up in my zipper. I have the card in my zipper, and then I close the zipper enough so that the card stays there. because the suit pants, the zipper is always very long for God knows why. And the first times I did it, one of two things would happen. Either the card would fall out, which is less than perfect because the people who are in front in the dinner show of the cabaret, they can't see the floor, so I swapped it somehow for them.
Yeah.
Or it falls inwards, which is incredibly funny. Like the card is there and then just boop, goes into the pants. It's less than ideal because how do you prove that that was the card that's right? And then it's just trial and error. I just closed the zipper enough so that it stuck. And then I would have someone taking the card out with their hands. I'm like, no, some people might not like that. Like, I'm very thoughtful about it. So I was like, it's very poor taste to have people putting their hands so close to my groin. That's what I thought. And I just found some big ass fucking tweezers. The ones where you squeeze them and they open up very wide. Do you know them?
Yeah.
Like a cartoon, they go pook, pook.
Yeah, exactly.
Go, and like as I remove that, so structuring magic again. I do you know what you do when you have like a wet towel? You just milk it, right?
And ring it. Yeah.
Yeah, ring it. Yeah, that's the you just go until there's nothing left. Right? You just go boom. But you have to know when to stop, right?
Yes.
And so I go, yeah, Mac King would take the card out and show it and do that gag again and it's fucking funny. But my idea is even better. Like, I want to do with the tweezers. And Leandro turned to me and he saw the footage. People were just holding onto their bellies, right? And he went, oh, that's very funny because it has a very cartoon look. It goes...
Yeah.
And Leandro says this. Okay, so Francisco, before you hand out the tweezers to the spectator to your right, you go 1, 2, they laugh, and you go, just out of curiosity, have you ever smuggled drugs really, really well? Right? because a tweezer is what you use to remove stuff out of whatever, like skin or like, and this is a funny joke, and I was like, that's fucking brilliant, right? Like, have you ever smuggled drugs really well? And you go boom, boom, right? And then people are laughing, and then she takes that and she's moving close, but when she does this, they're very quick, and I go, oh, easy woman, like wait, like that's a sensitive area. So now you've added like 2 minutes of brilliant entertainment. Like the internal life of magic is over. What you had to do was a force, a riffle shuffle to find the corner shorts, and a simple palm.
Yeah.
And you get 8 minutes of entertainment.
Yeah, and it's awesome how you turn that problem of, I don't want them to reach down to my groin, how do I do this? To actually making it so much better than you getting some cheap laugh from them grabbing that card out.
Yeah, again, don't be arrogant in predicting what you can't. So you never know how a piece is going to... And now it becomes one of my signature pieces. Like, I've done that piece for the Madame Lisbonne theater musical show in the cabaret. We did like 60 sold out sessions. And then I thought, yeah, this would be a terrific piece for cabaret environment, wouldn't it? Because it has all the essential parts of what a layman would think when they think of burlesque and cabaret. Just so I can end, I structure magic by going on stage and going, like my mentor, right? By going on stage and going, what's funny? What can be done here?
So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this small snippet from my conversation with Francisco. And it was such a great conversation. The full interview will be released in a few days' time, and if it's out there by the time you're watching this, you'll see a link at the end of the video. I really recommend checking it out. It was my favourite interview yet. We talked for over 2.5 hours, and it was so interesting. So make sure to check that out. But otherwise, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.